Hello and welcome to Elecspo, and whisper it quietly, but Leeds United are heading back to the Premier League. One of the biggest clubs in England haven't been in the top flight since 2004 and have even been as low as League One, but finally under Marcelo Bielsa, the Yorkshire Giants are going to be a Premier League club once again. But the next question is, how long will they stay there? Well, we've got the answers, kind of, as we use our Football Manager 2020 simulation to see where they are in 5 years' time. I'm James from Elecspo, and this is Leeds United in 2025 according to our Football Manager 2020 simulation. Well, Leeds fans, there's good news and there's bad news, but then there's also good news, but also a bit of bad news. It's Leeds United, of course it's going to be an emotional roller coaster. Or maybe it's a bit more like the teacups considering it is just a game. But the first bit of good news is Leeds United are a Premier League club by 2025. They had to wait until 2021 for promotion by coming second, but that was enough to get them back into the top flight. Sadly, they only lasted 3 years and relegated again in 2024. But it's good news time again, people. The 24-25 season has just ended and Leeds United came second again, meaning automatic promotion has been secured, and it was only another year without Premier League football. So Premier League football is back at Ellen Road, but who's the manager? Well, there's no surprise here, but Marcelo Bielsa left the club, although shockingly it came in November 2019, which is kind of impossible because it's in the past. Leeds made some mad appointments after that, first bringing in Sam Allardyce who got them up, and then he left and was replaced by Gordon Strachan. I mean, I know he's a former player, but he's a bit over the hill in terms of being a manager. Strachan lost his job in March 2024, with new man Paco Gemes unable to keep them up. However, he was able to keep his job, and the Spaniard is now a Premier League manager once again with Leeds. They secured promotion on the final day, beating Bristol City 2-0 to put Reading at second place. So let's have a look at who started for them on that day and who else is in the squad. In goal was Koen Casteels. Leeds have got a big Belgian in between the sticks, and a man who has a lot of experience all over Europe. But he joined the club in 2023 at the beginning of their relegation season, and after conceding 77 goals, it's fair to say he couldn't have got off to a worse start. He improved in the Championship though, and Paco Gemes will be praying he's a lot better in the top flight this time around, unless of course he decides to upgrade. One man who won't be playing is Illan Meslier, as he returned to Lorient following his loan spell in the opening season, and the Frenchman's still there, not quite kicking on despite the early promise he showed in reality. Right back was D'Amico Dehaney. With Luke Ayling retired, there was a vacancy to fill on the right of defence, and D'Amico Dehaney, no idea if I'm saying that right, is the man of the moment. Well, he's the new right back, that's all. He arrived from Norwich following Leeds' relegation, and has been a steady figure down the right en route to promotion. He hasn't been as influential as Ayling was, but not many are. Centre back was Mohamed Harbaoui. The first regen of this side, Mohamed Harbaoui almost cost Leeds promotion after getting sent off on the final day. His form wasn't particularly great in the Championship as you can see from his averages, so maybe a loan move might be a good idea before he tests himself in one of the best leagues in the world. Luckily for him, the two clubs from Dundee and Notts County want to sign him on a temporary deal. He was alongside KALVIN Phillips. The man that makes Leeds tick, KALVIN Phillips is still with the club in 2025 and he's now the captain as well. Whether it's at centre back or centre midfield, Phillips has been wonderful during the simulation, only dipping a below a 7 in his first season of Premier League football, which I think we can all forgive him for. It's surprising to see him still at Leeds, but at the age of 29 and valued at a huge £40 million, it looks like he'll stay at Ellen Road forever. Before we go any further, if you're new to the channel, I'd absolutely love it if you could hit that subscribe button and make sure you never miss a video, because I've got a house to pay for now. Anyway, back to the video. Left back was Dennis Kirkin. This guy was a bargain signing from Tottenham in 2023, only costing 550 grand, but he's now a first team player after taking a year to settle in, and he seems to have been really important either down the left or at centre back. Kirkin is versatile, and Leeds have got another option at left back, Portuguese regen João Bio, which is a wonderfully terrible name. João Bio cost £5 million in 2023, but is now unhappy at Ellen Road because he hasn't got a new contract. That could open the door for him to join Blackburn, who were keen following their promotion at the Premier League as well. Centre midfield was Ozzy Robinson. We've got a regen in centre midfield, and he's actually down as Leeds' key player, but he might not be for long. The 20-year-old requested to leave the club in December 2024, and Leeds obliged by putting him on the transfer list with a ridiculous asking price of £62 million. Hopefully he'll decide to stay now that he's a Premier League player once again, a league where previously he struggled, but then again he was only a child when he played, so I'll let him off. Next up was Valentin Rongier. Leeds have youth and experience in the middle of the park, with 30-year-old Valentin Rongier providing the latter. He cost £6.5 million from Everton in January 2022 and he's just enjoyed his best full season with the club. Luckily for him he wasn't involved in the relegation season, instead spending it on loan at Leganés where he was bloody brilliant. On the right was Samuel Grandsir. We've got another Frenchman in this team and Samuel Grandsir was a bit of a bargain in the grand scheme of things. Sure, it took him a while to get going, but he was brilliant in the Championship this season, where he got 10 goals and 4 assists from out wide, proving he was well worth more than £3.3 million. He's now valued at £8.75 million, which means Leeds could possibly get big money for him this summer, with Aston Villa keen. Attacking midfield was David Brooks. We'll come to my favourite player in this team, and a goal scorer in the 2-0 win over Bristol City that secured promotion. David Brooks has just completed his third season as a Leeds player, costing a rather modest £18.5 million from Bournemouth in 2022. He scored goals and got assists in a struggling Premier League team, but in the Championship he was able to be even more influential, contributing 21 goals in total. On the left was AMINE GOUIRI. While David Brooks was the star in the middle, AMINE GOUIRI was doing his bit on the left, or up front as he is predominantly a striker. The Frenchman only cost £3 million in 2024 from Lyon, and what a signing he was! GOUIRI got 16 goals and 6 assists in his first season of English football, and he's more than ready to launch an assault on the Premier League, under the watchful eye of Paco Gémez, although if things go wrong they'll no doubt sack him and bring in another Rolls fart like Tony Pulis. GOUIRI has often played up front, which has allowed French regen David Carpentier to play a lot of minutes, and he's been exciting too, suggesting that the future is bright for Leeds if they can settle in the Premier League. And up front was Adam Armstrong. The scorer of Leeds' second goal on the final day, this was Armstrong's 11th of the season. It's a modest tally, but the big problem comes next season. Armstrong has never scored a Premier League goal in his career, which is worrying for a man who costs £17.75 million. Leeds have also got Che Adams, but possibly not for long, with the forward told he's no longer needed and put on the transfer list for just £1.6 million. Ah well, at least he's still got that ridiculous winner against Man City to shout about. So that's Leeds in 2025 according to Football Manager 2020. Let us know what you think in the comments down below. As always, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to Elecspo, and until next time, we'll see you around.